Bloodsport, the ultimate assassin, DCU's greatest shot, hitman of the most excellent regard, played by a goated actor that stains multiple people's inspiration, from Damson Idris to multiple actors across the board, a goated level individual that reps every type of character of badass record, and as well with playing Bloodsport is the man, the myth, the legend that took out the GOAT himself, Peacemaker, and stands as one of the most top tier expert marksmen and killing machines like never seen before. First is Cad Bane, the elite gunslinger of Star Wars, one of the greatest gunmen in the galaxy, a marksman unparalleled, stands as one of, if not the most highest tier shot to be argued in Star Wars, and is over multiple revered not only shooters, killers, and capable individuals when it comes down to blasting fools like never seen. But could this man, Damson Idris, possible greatest inspiration, and this man Idris Elba, in this case Bloodsport, defeat the menace of the galaxy without even trying? Cad Bane, our infamous blue gunslinger. That is, of course, what I'm here to go ahead and ask. I hope you guys will enjoy. If you are new here, as always, if you would like, share, subscribe, comment, where the case may be. This is a mixed versus battle. It has been debated in some different forms and different things, but as well has been requested. With that being said, I hope you guys will enjoy, and let's go ahead and get it in. Dcau, master of every weapon possibly known to mankind, akin to Peacemaker, and is one of the most built different assassins, mercenaries, and individuals on the planet. And in my shameless plug, ranking all of DCU from weakest to strongest video, pretty much he would be one of the most greatest skilled combatants in all different run of mercenaries, killers, shooters, marksmen, all different type of people in the talk of different high-end street tier and peak combatants. He is the leader of the Suicide Squad of the mixed technical DCU to the case of DCAU, as it is canon to the greater case of the James Gunn reboot of the DC Cinematic Universe, and he put Henry Cavill, or this man David Cornsweat Superman, in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet, showcasing his not only flaunt of great resume and capabilities of shooting, but is very much in every instance of the way a very interesting, capable person and every accolade to be had. Bloodsport in name is one brutal, efficient killer. Leaves a bloody mess everywhere he goes. He is a master of multiple different guns, can use multiple different forms of bullets with small, efficient, piercing bullets, is able to match Peacemaker and Gunfare, is seen to be a high tier killer and respected by someone like this man Rick Flag, that somewhat has different matter of physical scaling and same time shot expertise similar to this man Peacemaker, aka Christopher Smith, right? And with all his different case of inventory, his nanotech, and everything that he could utilize in different gunfare, he has not only multiple form of bullets, piercings, splinters, a flamethrower, a slingshot mace, a actual grappling hook. He has a very high-tech fam case of matter of armor, a clubbing sword that allows him to cut through and chop down multiple people, and is just a very skilled dude. He has multiple attachments. Guns are able to push back not only Star the Conqueror, but King Shark, and even though not put a dent in any of them, can still somewhat harm them and hold weight. And because he's able to match someone like this man Peacemaker in different boards of different not only speed, this will put him easily in the bare minimum subsonic plus 2, possibly supersonic matter of speed. When it comes down to the fact of actually hurting people, these different mixed values in AP and the things he's been able to take, he would be bare minimum scaling from wall level to possibly bare minimum small building, as King Shark is able to run through multiple different forms of humans to the same degree. Star was able to break down small buildings and different things along those lines. So the fact that he's able to even get stunned by some of the different weapons of Bloodsport means that he's not just some slouch, and definitely getting the right shot could put some harm on some of these individuals and be definitely something of interesting element to think about in different occasions. And undoubtedly so is a very much built different crossroads individual. You can hypothetically stretch to be more than small building plus in mixed talk of, building level, but I feel like most consistent is very much multiple times a plethora of showcasings that very much indefinitely have, in the most high end credit of not only small building standing, because again what his weapons are able to confidently more do, but the fact that he doesn't severely critically or anything of the higher end scaling within, again, my shameless plug, ranking the DCU from weakest to strongest video, different boards of power scaling, that would actually more indirectly make him be in those greater sentiment of scaling. And again, that's what he has more in all different configurations of, not only power and as well stand within shooting capability, right, against other people. As again, he is a revered marksman and shooter and is definitely not a man to be played with. And like Peacemaker, was trained to be a killer since the day he was born, allegedly. Even though he has a fear of rodents, the man is nobody to be played with. The badass Bloodsport. But could he take on our infamous galactic gunslinger in CB, aka Cad Bane? Cad Bane, infamous galactic gunslinger. Infamous and notorious for being one of, if not the best bounty hunter ever seen in all different crossroads of Star Wars. The blue famed justice of Star Wars. A man that always is staying in the crop, stylistically badass top tier hitter, introducing him like so, and quote, Cad Bane at your service. I'll take on any job for the right price. Cad Bane, formerly known as Kobe, was the Duros male bounty hunter, a mercenary in the galaxy, whose career spanned from the fall of the Galactic Republic, the reign of the Galactic Empire, and into the era of the New Republic. Once a street rat, Bane first became involved in criminal activity when he joined the gangsters Lazo's gang around 62 BBY. After Lazo's death, Bane grew in infamy after he killed both a marshal and his former friend Nero as revenge, eventually becoming a bounty hunter. After the unceremonious demise of Jango Fett at the Battle of Geonosis in 22 BBY, Bane was considered the best and one of the most experienced bounty hunters of the era. Although his infamy grew during the Clone Wars in particular, Bane had a high standing both within the underworld and amongst other bounty hunters, working with the likes of Oron Singh years before the onset of the war. He even ran a temporary contract for the Sith Lord Darth Maul. Bane specialized in fighting Jedi and dueled some of the most skilled Jedi during the Clone Wars, including Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. His reputation led him to be repeatedly employed by the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, working for him on numerous projects, including infiltrating the Jedi Temple to steal a Kyber memory crystal, containing a list of Force-sensitive children throughout the galaxy. Bane was later hired by the gangster Jabba the Hutt to free Jabba's uncle, Zero Dlezhik Turio, out of the Republic prison. After a successful mission, Bane was rehired to track down Zero when he fled. Bane found Zero dead on Tiff and eventually dueled Kenobi and Cleon Voss, using a variety of weapons to hold his own against the two Jedi before fleeing. Later into the war, Bane was brought in by Darth Sidious, then Sith apprentice Count Dooku, to participate in the box, surviving the daily challenges before being appointed the overseer of the plot to kidnap the Supreme Chancellor. However, their plans were foiled when it was revealed that Kenobi had infiltrated the ranks, disguised as bounty hunter Rako Harden, and Bane was arrested along with the rest of the group. Bane was still active during the early reign of the Galactic Empire. At this time, he was hired by the Kumonian Prime Minister Lama Su to retrieve an unaltered female clone named Omega, and although he initially accomplished his task, he was ultimately thwarted by the intervention of both fellow hunter Vinixian and Clone Force 99. Nonetheless, he continued to provide his services to the highest bidder after the fall of the Galactic Empire and the rise of the New Republic. By 9 ABY, Bane was working for the Payek Syndicate on Tatooine, assisting the nefarious cartel in the expansion of the spice trade into the case of the planet. After a confrontation with his old apprentice, Boba Fett, son of Jango Fett, or technically greater clone, he was defeated and stabbed through the chest in the streets of Mos Espa, killing him. In a very much unironically disappointing death for some people, but still showcased in that fight in question that he was over Boba Fett. And even if you want to say in a different mixed situational confines, that this man Boba Fett could have different arguments to be over in a single sense duel and just on straight up fire bit rate aim, he is just objectively beyond the comprehension of the infamous bounty hunter, great period of not only shooter, yes, and as much, very much, every credibility to be seen as one of the highest devout warriors, and next to people like Dcau is a high tier essence of individual, still puts again this man Cad Bane as easily one of the most uncomparable, unparalleled, esteemed marksmen of the galaxy. And outshooting him, outshooting the best of the best, having some different collide against very great again bounty hunters in different occasions, should very much mark him as being in shot rate easily one of, if not in fully truth, to be, I would say, ultimately the truest, best shot in every accolade of the way, making motherfuckers worse for wear. Gunslinging, McCrean, dabbling in all different full showing of speed, capabilities, and technique, and is one ultimate force on the battlefield. You fuck with Cad Bane, you gon' be filled with multiple cases of laser holes, as his shot rates actually cause different laser bombs that allow him to pretty much post bomb people. He's able to pop off against the greatest possible odds, move around people, out dodge Boba Fett and others that scale to a bunch of different matter of people, not just in shooting, but a different physical bout. And the fact is that Cad Bane, like any other person, is very skilled shot for multiple reasons. And I would say that Cad Bane has every reason to be not only over Boba Fett, Din Djarin, Crosshair, Seer Judah, and any other person who think that's a good shot, even Bo Akuna. It makes him very much a very creative, crack fiend and different shot. He's able to mix scale and different mix physical bout talk and dual wielding and different mix up. Is again able to outduel any person, and as well has some great case of durability showcase if you want to talk about just AP, where the dude is able to take a whole freaking pulse like bomb straight to the body and get blown off from it and still be able to be standing, which should be a bare minimum wall level case if you know feet and standing. But in greater case of showcasing, because it makes relativation and different physical overpower, mixed pressing and force against very skilled accolade people like Obi-Wan standing against different mixed case of Jedi and being able to physically outdo and as well severely puncture and hurt Boba Fett even with knowing the soft boards of his armor, should easily get him to their different levels depending on how you perceive it, at low end suppressed versions of these people, and outscaling Boba Fett that I talked about in very much big expanded detailed form. And my obviously shameless plug, why Punish refers to Boba Fett, is kind of close video. I've talked about Din Djarin with my Soldier 76 versus the case of obviously Mando, right? And as well talked about Crosshair, but as these will be getting him from multiple times small building to very much city block to depending on how you perceive, you really think he stands that any greater capable Jedi could get him, you know, to like city or, you know, multiple times beyond the case of even like a planet. But I think consistently he would be scaling to those like small buildings, city block level ranges with gunfire, bombs, capabilities, and the fact that he's able to be any threat to most different skilled arguments of people while just being physically just the most imposing shot pit for pit capable person. And it's been said multiple times in different shooting rate and capabilities, he's easily beyond Boba Fett. So that very much, you know, cements him as being a top dog killer and powerhouse, I guess, in a different onslaught array of shooters and different archetypes of things along those lines. When it comes down to speed, obviously with his guns and different things and his other scaling and out, you know, perceiving and dodging people of similar archetype and accolade, that seals this man Cad Bane as he being multiple times relativistic to the speed of light very confidently and consistently. So with all that being said, it is an obvious Cad Bane absolutely destroys this man. Plus, sports not even funny. Like, he superly numerous times in every sense of the way, in the most weirdest possible wording you might say, out demolishes this dude in every archetype of not only shooting, but as well in every standing of different showcases and feats. He has a greater sense of cosmology, unironically being a Star Wars character. He just scales to a better repertoire and run of scaling and speed. And as well, Cad Bane is just multiple times effortlessly shown to be a man that's so much beyond the comprehension of this dude, even if you equal the stats, that I believe that Cad Bane, again, even with the speed scaling being very much of that, as again, he consistently would scale way more, you know, and definitely higher scale than Bloodsport, and should entirely full blicky this man Idris Elba into next week and have this man Bloodsport literally looking like a bloody splat, probably with first case hand degree of a shot, having Bloodsport get entirely dismantled inside out and every cutting edge shot proficiency. And if he tries to even have that type of duel scenario with him, right, and where they're over here doing an iconic quick draw, he's going to cock this nigga like this man RoboCop with the swiftness and take him out just like that. He's gonna Rango him. So yeah, like, it's just GG's. There's no way Bloodsport should be able to win. The only possible argument you can make is, even though he would scale because it makes physical and harm to similar mixed decree of physical combatment to some other people, especially in skill, that yes, if this man Bloodsport hit him with a greater severe laying of like weight and pressure from his guns, he might be able to do him in. But I see in every argument, with every skill showcasing, every feat displayed on screen and before, that Cad Bane is way beyond the comprehension of these people, and easily at one point, and should be very much revered so, to be easily, without context and different, contextual means, to be the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy of Star Wars. But as always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my army. Love y'all.